Oh, always so good to be here. That one, great. In Chicago because I'm from northwest suburbs, and so it never gets old to me to be in the city. So thanks for having me here this morning. I'm also here with Carrie McLennan, who's part of the Illinois Regional Office that I lead, and Drew Pierce, who's from our support office in Western Michigan. Kids Hope USA, I've spoke with a few of you here already, and like, I've never heard of you before. And someday, I hope I just sit down with a pastor or a superintendent or principal, and they're like, yes, I've heard of you. We've been around for 22 years. But really, this regional office has only been open for about 7.5 years. So I'm going to give it maybe a couple more years, or maybe you can help me create more awareness on that one. But we're the largest faith-based mentoring organization in the country. What we do is we work exclusively with the local church, and I can't imagine a better place than to tap into the local church, because they are the hope of the world, aren't they? And we engage them in these, train them and engage them in these one-on-one relationships with the at-risk kids in the public elementary schools. So mobilizing the Christian church to reach the at-risk kids in the elementary schools. And the paradigm shift is nobody mentors for Kids Hope. It's the other way around. It's the church that holds the relationship with the local elementary school. We just come alongside them from our regional offices to our national office in West Michigan and support them, hopefully for many years to come. Kind of the next slide here. We've been, it started as a pilot project in West Michigan 22 years ago with what to do with the kids who aren't doing well in school, these kids who come from unstable environments and whatever that is, kids whose social and emotional needs aren't being met. How can we build into them? And when we asked the community, they said if a loving adult would just show up consistently every single week and come alongside these kids, we can physiologically help them to operate out of the upper parts of the brain as opposed to the base of the brain. So on the map here, you'll see that, yeah, I got the thing here. There we go. That I am in control. We are now in 34 states, 1,200 church school partnerships across the country. Specifically in Illinois, when the regional office opened 7.5 years ago, we had 10 programs. We were in 9 school districts, and today I'm in 61 school districts, from Waukegan to Rockford to DeKalb, down to Plano and Plainfield and Yorkville, CPS. And I have all these superintendents who are giving me my goals, who are saying, Annette, did you find churches for all my schools? You know, Elgin U46, second largest school district in the state of Illinois. There's 40 elementary schools. We're in 18 of their schools. So yes, I know my goals. And so we continue, and that is one of our problems and things we need, because the need is huge. You know, we're distinct in that we focus on the youngest of kids, because that's when their self-esteem is being formed. We say by the time they're in 5th grade. It's all in a one-on-one relationship. We obviously mobilize the local church, and while abiding by that separation of church and state. So it's the church going in during the school day, not bringing a church program, but the church bringing a structured mentoring program. So this isn't an after-school program. This isn't a before-the-school program. This is engaging with the school staff. This is during the lunch hour. Most of our mentoring happens here, especially in Northern Illinois. And so you know, when I say the word at risk, you know, a few statistics around that. Kids who don't learn to read by the time they're in 3rd grade have a 1 in 8 chance of graduating high school, because those 3rd grade reading scores are so, the prison systems are being built around those 3rd grade reading scores. And so we know, because after 3rd grade kids learned how to read, or learn by reading, that if they haven't learned to read by the time they're in 3rd grade, they're probably going to need to make room for them, which is a very sobering statistic. So states like California and Texas are building their prison systems around that 3rd grade reading score. And so what can we do and be about prevention as opposed to intervention? Now, we're a K through 8 program. We added our middle school program about 3 years ago, but primarily in the elementary schools and matching those mentors up. So a little bit how the Kids Hope Hour works. I've been mentoring my little guy since 1st grade out in the Schaumburg area. He's in 8th grade this year. So I get to see him probably next month. I'm pretty sure he's going to be taller than me. But every year you commit that one academic season at a time. And hopefully you can follow them through the elementary years and then through 8th grade. And so kind of what worked with Joshua is that every Monday I would assign into the school, I'd pick him up in his classroom, we'd go down to the library, and our Kids Hope Hour consisted of a bunch of different things, from a check-in hour to a face chart. So these are trained mentors going into the school, and that's what schools love. I would take out my face chart, get to ask Joshua, how you feeling? It has 32 different emotions on it. There's a couple components of academics. We would always do some type of creative play, something like a math bingo, and we would always end maybe with something fun. So he knew every single Monday that I would be there, that I would show up. And I was late once. I was like 2 minutes late once, and he let me know that I was late. And so, so I won't do that again. But he knows that I'm going to be there. And so this next, our Life Together program is part of our components with the academics, in that we have the Prepare Together, the Learn Together, which is the reading, the Grow Together. The Grow Together is identifying and strengthening problematic areas like kindness and courage and self-control. The Prepare Together, mastering the skills like listening skills and shaking hands, and then of course the Read Together. And so the kids are assessed on some different things that they need to work on according to the principal. I'm going to show you, let's see, to press play on this. You do that? Yeah. Just a 1 minute of a mentor relationship.
And so we'll go over and sit in one of these little areas outside if it's a nice day, and the little stone tables. And we'll usually play a game while he's eating his lunch. And we'll talk a little bit while we're playing. And, there's nothing quite like playing a game or doing something while you talk. It just kind of opens people up a lot. And he finishes eating, and then we'll read. And we'll sit down and we'll read part of this book. I bought a book earlier in the year that we're trying to work our way through. After we finish reading, we'll go and do something like throw a football around or go play some basketball. And we just enjoy time together and try to invest in his life and show him that people do love him and that do care about him, want to invest in his life. And we really want to focus on him as a person and as a student.
I love that just that short video. You can just see the love in that guy's heart. And, when he's here, it's more than just mentoring an at-risk student. We're changing the direction of a life, 1 hour at a time. I remember when I started with Joshua it was December of first grade. And he was so excited to see me. I came the first time, second time I came, it was a few times before winter break. He came up to me at the door because I picked him up in his classroom, and he's like, I'm so excited to see you today. I was running around crazy last night. I'm so excited to see you. You go in, you feel like a rock star. I'm like, what do you do? I just showed up, right? Came the next week, so excited to see you. Winter break happened. We came back. I took out my face chart, and how you feeling today, Joshua? And, and I figured he'd point to the excited face or the happy face, and he pointed to the shocked face. And I go, Joshua, why are you shocked? And he goes, because I can't believe you came back. He's from a broken home. He just, people are in and out of his lives. And, and so we kind of reflected at the end of 6th grade of the first 6 years together. And I shared that story with him. And he just smiled at me, and he goes, 6 years later, you're still by my side. And so built a relationship with his mom and his sister, and now in junior high I get to, go into his extracurricular activities, and we're just continuing to get down in the family. So when a church partners with us, and again, about 150 partnerships or so, and we continue to grow, especially here in Northern Illinois, they appoint a director, and we train that director. So it's a trained director who understands the program. We've gone to online training. In that training, we have trained mentors as well. And so, like I said, the trained mentors who are going in during the school day. And then they do some recruitment. I'll speak at churches, but we're in over 35 different denominations. Again, our focus is mobilizing the Christian church to reach the public elementary schools. And so we have the larger multi-sites like the Willow Creeks and the Community Christians and the Christ Communities and the Harvests and the Chapels, because we live in the land of multi-sites out here, right? And then we have the smaller denominational, churches of 80 people or 50 people. But all of them have this view that we want to be the church in our community, and we want to partner with that school that I look out my front door and see across the street from me. I used to be on staff with Willow Creek for many years as a neighborhood pastor, and I would mobilize outreach to do global outreach and to, inner city outreach and to do local outreach. And so when I talk with pastors, this is the local outreach. We always ask that question, would anyone ever know if you closed your doors? We always ask the church that question, would anyone ever know if you closed your doors? What else are you doing in the community? And school officials, they get it. When I speak with superintendents, when I speak with principals, they get that, that is the job of the church, to go outside their walls. They're ministering to the people inside their walls. And they give us those backpacks every year. But what we'd really love is relationship. I was just talking to a church on Monday, and they said, they asked the principal that question, what do we need? It's a church financially sound. They're like, do you need playground equipment? Do you need backpacks? What do you need? And they said, we could really use 50 more mentors. That's what we need. Thank you for those tangibles, but what we need is 50 more mentors. And so 3 pictures here. What I need from the Barnabas group. Churches, denominations, you like that logo? That's the denominational logo. I looked that up. I don't know. I hope it doesn't mean anything else, but there's my denominational logo. We'll just say that today. And then a communication plan. So really to help us develop a strategy to identify churches and denominations, and then to craft a strategy that can help us execute a communication plan that churches would be open to for our expansion. There are 100 schools waiting for a church partner. I would love if you could help me find ways to identify those churches. So thank you for your time today. Go.